What's on, guys? J-Hoy back with you today. Welcome back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. We're hanging out over here on High Rise, or I guess they're calling it something different for the holidays, but we have a good gameplay for you in the background. As today, it was actually before Christmas when I saved this post over on Twitter. And this is what makes my job, I don't want to say easy, because obviously it's not really my job. I mean, it kind of is, but isn't. But this is why I love seeing things like this, because I agree with it so much that I'm like glad somebody else has pretty much the same opinion as I do. And this is coming over, again, from Twitter, from Lunchtime YouTube. Don't know who he is, don't know what his channel is all about, if he does have a YouTube channel. But he put, I think I saw this on Reddit, and then I kind of looked over on Twitter to kind of see more of it. But he said, this is why the COD League YouTube channel is suffering. Now, already we knew why it was suffering. It's because it's not on Twitch. And then, you know, having all the games and everything over on YouTube, like, the more the merrier here. But he said, the titles and thumbnails do not match. The wrong game title, the wrong game tags. With how much work goes into the production for CDL broadcasts, it'd be nice to see the same effort towards VODs and highlights. It would only be for the benefit of the league, and I am far from a YouTube expert, and even I can spot plenty of areas for improvement. Now, we've been talking about this same thing for so long. Like, what's the best way to kind of help this thing, right? The thing we're trying to create that has already been created and then kind of went into the garbage and then kind of got pulled out of the garbage, like cut half of it off, and now here we are. How can we make this thing better? Right now, like this guy said, he's not an expert. I sure as heck am not an expert. But here's just some basic, minor, tiny things that would help so much. So, yeah, as you saw on the screen, we got a couple things to talk about here. So let's go on with the first one. So like he said, the thumbnails, the titles, everything just, it doesn't match. So like nothing is the same. So for instance, this is one of the videos on their YouTube channel, and don't get me wrong, whatever is in the videos actually is pretty decent quality. I mean, arguably, I guess you'd want to put it. So this was the best of the week, Major 1, Week 2 highlights. So this is from the online portion of the majors, I guess you want to call it. And just for example, you look at the background, you see Call of Duty League Best of the Week, presented by Monster Energy. Cool, right? Awesome, looks good. Okay, then you look to the right, you see a player. I don't know exactly who that is, but it's one of the players from the Miami Heretics team. Okay, put on a new player, somebody there. Cool, good idea. But then underneath it, you see OpTic Dashy goes 1v3 question mark exclamation point, which isn't a bad title, right? Because obviously OpTic, Dashy's one of the biggest names in the league. And then 1v3, that's a pretty known highlight. But here's the thing. If you're going to put OpTic Dashy goes 1v3, then put Dashy, right? That's going to be your title, put Dashy. Or if Simp has a 1v4 Ninja Defuse, then put Simp there. Or whoever it is that is in the title, put that in the thumbnail. Right? If it was, again, I don't know this player's name, but if it was him having a highlight, cool. But let's match. Right? You gotta have the same thing. If you match one side, match the other. So then, okay, you get past the thumbnail, you get onto the video, you look at the start of the description. Here are the top 5 plays from the week 2 qualifier week. Which one is your favorite? Okay, cool, like whatever. Trying to, promote interaction. Don't forget to subscribe, and there's obviously more underneath that didn't make it in the screenshot here. But then you see Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which is the 2019 version of that. And quick glance down at the bottom right of my screen, and it is currently January 4th when I am making this video. Now this is from, like I said, before Christmas. but at the time, 2023. So still, you're 4 years off on your game. That's just sad. Now, then the thing is like, okay, you put all this stuff, resources, money, you know, time into the production, the casters, the analyst desk and everything. You got to have somebody running your YouTube channel. So is it laziness? Is it didn't bother? Is it, you know, what is it? Why are we slacking this much? If it was still like first, you know, kind of video of the new year and you still had on like the last year's game, then like, okay, like, oh yeah, that's right, I gotta change that. Then okay. But to have Modern Warfare, that was 4 years ago, well, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So you got, again, you gotta match everything here. And then the next thing is you look down at the tags. You keep going on. Now again, I'm not a YouTube expert. I don't know how the algorithm works. And obviously I don't know what the best tags and stuff to use, you know, for every video are. But if we look at the tags for this video in question here, Florida Mutineers aren't a team anymore, right? Now the Miami Heretics. So if you're going to put all the team names in there, make sure you're up to date. LA Guerrillas, Minnesota Rocker, the Vegas Legion, Seattle Surge, Toronto Ultra, Atlanta FaZe, the London Royal Ravens, again, aren't a team anymore. Now it's the Carolina Royal Ravens, New York Subliners. Then you put OpTic. Spelled wrong, but you put OpTic. Just OpTic. Not OpTic Texas, just OpTic. Call of Duty League, CDL, eSports, Call of Duty, COD, COD League Highlights, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and then you're like, oh yeah, there's more teams. Boston Breach, LA Thieves, OpTic Texas, CDL 2023, it's 2024 now. 2023 I guess is when it started, but still. Call of Duty League 2023, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2. Right, obviously you can see all those on the screen. So MW3, you know, you could see it. But you look at this and you're like, so you have Modern Warfare, the 2019 version as your game. Then you have last year's like tags and teams that aren't fully correct. And then you could probably put more tags in here that would help. And again, is it laziness? Did you not know? Did, you know, the person get fired and now it's just there? So, you know, I don't know exactly what it is, but, you know, they have more than enough money and more than enough resources to have somebody run their YouTube channel to upload these videos. They probably have editors. I don't know who's in charge of what there. But this just seems lazy. Now, like I said, I'm not a YouTube expert. I'm definitely not perfect on YouTube. You know, I still have a lot to learn, you know, on this whole thing. But this just seems bad, right? It's just sad that, like, this small of things. Now, if it was like one thing or you misspelled something, okay, whatever. We're all human. Things happen. But when it's not even, it's not last year's game, tags are not accurate, you know, it's just, the thumbnails don't match. You feel like whoever is hired for this position has a boss, right? Everyone that works for pretty much anybody has a boss, right? So usually they would kind of, you know, oversee everything of what you're doing. And then you go and produce this, and you did so well, but then when you actually, like, it looks like a really good thing, but then you look more and more and more at it, and it's like, then you see that, you know, OpTic Dashy's in the title, not OpTic Dashy in the thumbnail. No one's overlooking the game, no one's overlooking the tags. You know, whoever's job this is not doing it, right? So, you know, obviously I've been very critical over the COD League recently, over what they're doing and what they could be doing and what they should do and what they don't, you know, they shouldn't do anymore. But then I see stuff like this and I'm like, it's just another thing that this is why we suck. This is why we are not one of the biggest esports in the world. It's because of little things like this. Now, everyone else seems to have figured it out. Not everybody, but, you know, League of Legends, Valorant, you know, CSGO when that was in its heyday. Those guys figured it out somehow. We've been around just as long, if not close to as long. We should be in that same conversation for one of the biggest esports in the world. But for whatever reason, we just can't seem to figure it out. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below. Comment all of your thoughts, what you think about this whole thing down below in the comments section. And of course, if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button on your way out. And as always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.